Have Bitcoiners been naughty or nice? Is Santa going to come down the chimney and provide us with a rally? Find out more in this episode. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Davinci Jeremy. I'm in the pipe 5x5, staying alive, doing well, even though Bitcoin looked like it was going to collapse, and then it's coming back. It's coming back. Is Santa going to fill all the Bitcoiner stockings this Christmas season? I don't know. We're going to talk about that and more in today's episode and determine if, with the charts, this is going to happen. And we're going to see Bitcoin close out the year, right? Possible chance of Bitcoin closing out the year at a high note. That would be nice, because I'd like to see a green candle for this year instead of a red one, because that would break the tradition. All right, with that said, man, guys, wherever you are, right, I've decided that I'm going to take some time off. I'm not going to do shows during the Christmas holidays next week, and possibly even the week after. Might surprise you with a show or two, right, if I feel that it's warranted, but overall, I've decided to take next week off. I'm going to be doing some personal things and also working on my businesses, restructuring my businesses and so forth. So that's what is going to be my focus for the next few weeks, not just the holidays. Thank you guys and for your patience. I look forward to seeing you guys after the holidays, after New Year's, into the 2026 new year. And yeah, we're going to see what we can do to make money even when Bitcoin is going down. All right, with that said, let's first go on to my website. I've updated my website a little while ago, and now it is just a simple website where you could join my exclusive community, right, at school.com. If you head over here, you can see that you can join school.com. The prices are a lot higher now, because if you missed the webinar, not only was it was half the price, less than half the price, but it was also guaranteeing you the money back there was no if, just the money back. Done. Right? And not a lot of people took it, but that's okay. The people who did, I'm going to give them great service, right? So much value that they are going to be saying, man, you missed out, but don't miss. You can find out everything that they learned in this group, right, once you pay this little bit higher ticket price, and that's just the way it is. And we're going to be we just recently, actually, you know what, today we talked about how you can actually DCA automatically without even having to do anything for the DCA. You can actually just set it and forget it. And we showed our members how to do that without losing custody of their dollars or their Bitcoin. Think about that for a second. If you put your money in a bank, you lose custody of it. The money's not yours. If you don't know this, the money's not yours in the bank. It's theirs. And if you try to take it out, they'll be like, hold on, dog. What you gonna do with that? Is that how it should be? No, it shouldn't be that way. And that's why, right? That's why TSATS was invented, and why you should be, buying Bitcoin, even a small amount of it in TSATS, right? So I'm going to show you TSATS is a Bitcoin stablecoin. It allows you to buy Bitcoin on Solana and keep track of it and keep hold of it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Is you could actually buy a lot of TSATS. 1,137 with $1. So don't say Bitcoin's too expensive. It's cheap. Cheap. You can get in some. You can be a part of the Bitcoin network and see your wealth grow to an exponential amount, because these people, the governments, businesses, are going to be trading in Bitcoin and not bonds in the future. Bonds, they're going to get burned. And they're never going to feel that burn again. They're just going to hold Bitcoin and go, yeah, you want me to hold a promise to pay a Bitcoin as on my balance sheet and not the actual Bitcoin that's increasing in value and take the risk with your bond? How about you read between the lines and say, how about no? Right? That's the future. And so whilst we see bonds being traded at the market trades of $70 trillion, imagine when that comes to Bitcoin, because that's coming. And if you're not a part of it, well, you're going to be missing out. That's it. Moving on to the Santa Claus rally. Bitcoin Santa Claus rally looks unlikely, with analysis flagging range-bound finish to 2025. Bitcoin has historically seen late Bitcoin gains, but analysis noticed average returns during Santa window have been modest. Jesus. You can't give us some Christmas cheer. Bitcoin appears set to remain range-bound through the year end, dimming hopes for a typical Santa rally in the crypto market, according to several analysts tracking momentum, macro conditions, and long-term cycle signals. Yeah, that's true. That's so true. That is true. Bitcoin does not rally generally into the Christmas year. Sometimes there was a few years that it did, but on the most part it didn't. So maybe because you know what, we're seeing a lot of unprecedented events with Bitcoin. This year might be different, but let's stick with the technical analysis, shall we? Let's start off with, this trade, right? Remember this trade? Boom! We were like, yeah, all happy, and they come back at it. Why have to go and do that, Bitcoin? Why? I don't know. Right? Anyways, it is what it is. So, what are we going to do about it? Well, not much, as you can see, we're going to have to wait for Bitcoin to decide what it wants to do. I would say if you want, you can. It's most likely a short play, but keep that in mind that this can reverse on us. And we'll talk about the reverse possibility. If that reverse happens, what has to happen? How much do you want? What we're going to see the price action at, and so forth. So we're going to take this to stop loss with about, let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Just around the $800 mark. The $784 is going to be our stop loss. Our entry is going to be at 88,340. Because I think they're going to probably just take this out one more time. No guarantees of that, but I think that's most likely scenario with Bitcoin. And then you want to stay inside of this range, since, well, we've been seeing that it is definitely staying inside this range. So we might come back down here, but even though there's no evidence of a Santa Claus rally, let's just pretend that there might be. There is no evidence of that, but let's just say that there is. Right? Let's zoom out. And what do we have to see? Well, actually, we are seeing. Hang on, let me just make this bigger, so it's out of the way. We are seeing something, not much. The trend break, the downtrend break, right? You could say that there's a downtrend break here or something like that, like this, and now we've broken it, right? And maybe because we closed, but then again, this is a break of the trend, so it's up in the air, right? It's very, very weak. Great, but then this double top also is not conducive to helping our trade position. Actually, now that I think about it, might have to revisit that trade, because looking at the double top wicks, might not have a good entry down there. Interesting. Alrighty, I might have to adjust my entry point looking at the double top wicks, because if we already had a double top wick, we should just move our entries and yeah, set the stop loss at the wick is the most likely scenario. Okay, we'll come back to that, but let's first find out where we have to be in order for us to have the Santa Claus rally. Well, the market is making lower right now, higher lows, but no higher highs. And there's these higher highs up here have been broken. Oh, no, actually, you know what? The last low was, well, higher low was here, and that's been broken. So we're indicating that we have another higher low to break, and then that would be that, right? And we've held it. We've held this bottom line. Somebody's held the market up right at this point, around the 84-ish, 84.5-ish area. So that person's determined. We don't know how determined he is to keep the price up. And I would say if we get into the 91, 92-ish area, I guess no, it's gotta like stay in. It's gotta break out of this zone here. So as time goes on, so you could say, yeah, pretty much the $93,000, $94,000 mark is a clear indication that we're going to have a Santa Rally. Unfortunately, that's deep into positive territory from here, and it's like, okay, how can we get from here to there with a trade? And you can't, because there's no indication on the market saying that, hey, we can make a trade heading north, heading upwards. Just not there, and you can't. And if it's not there, you shouldn't make the trade. Is it possible? Yes. The only signal we've got is that this might be an indication that right here where we're breaking out from the downtrend, but this could roll over. It is what it is, right? And this didn't hit its target. This head and shoulders, these head and shoulders, this M patterns, all this didn't hit its target yet. So it is a difficult thing to say. Yeah, we're gonna reverse at this point. Not a good one, but anything can happen, right? I could be completely wrong, but with that said, let's go down to the shorter time frame and move our entries. And I'm going to say we'll move the entry into the middle of these candles here that are wicking around, and see if we can get an entry there. Let's just move it so that we're clear. And let me just change the you could actually do it if you're watching this live, like, which, you know, only my Leap members can watch this live right now, you can actually just take an entry at this point, because the risk to reward, what you're risking is a small percentage. Right? So as I was saying, your risk to reward is going to be quite smaller. Your risk is only 0.5%, and so effectively, or less, a little bit more actually. So effectively, an entry here and stop loss up higher is just at the breakout here is the most likely scenario to go for on the trade. And so yeah, there it is. That's the trade for today for Bitcoin. Alrighty, maybe I should have went over the price targets, the entries and stuff like that, but that's okay. I'm sure if you press pause on there, you can see where the entries, all right, stop losses and all that is. If prices are higher, I would probably not get into the original trade that I was thinking at, because once I saw the 4-hour double top wick, it's not good. Could we get a triple top? Yes, but it's not likely. So it is what it is. That's the trade. Good luck. There's no guarantees, even with the current trade that we've mentioned, or the first one, right? So let's see what happens, and that's it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys in the new year. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and peace.